There he is, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. It took us a little bit to get here, but we did finally get here. It is good to get on back with him once again, the former unified heavyweight champion of the world. He returns on Sunday, not Saturday, Sunday, September the 4th from the Staples Center. I said Staples Center, Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California. You can catch it on Fox Sports pay-per-view. He faces Luis Ortiz, the one and only Andy Ruiz Jr. And Andy, I messed up, man. I said Staples Center. I'm sorry, I can't say Crypto.com. It hurts my ears and hurts my mouth to even say.
There's how you doing, man? There's a few times when I said that to the Staples Center, they're like, "No, it's the Crypto Arena," and I'm like, "Oh, I forgot." It's because we're so used to the Staples Center, the name, and but things change, and either way, we're still fighting right there at the Crypto Arena.
So, what do you prefer? Let's be honest. I asked Ryan Garcia this before his last fight, and he told me he likes the Staples Center. Are you Crypto or are you Staples?
To me, it doesn't really matter, I think each owner has to change the name, has to make it however they want. If somebody buys something, you want to name it your own, right? So I think it's right if they want to change it.
Good to see you back. It's been a long time since me and you have chatted. It's been a couple of years. And, we look at just this fight coming. It's been a little bit since we've seen you in the ring. For the fans that don't know, why a long layoff?
I think some fighters need a little long layoff, especially with my surgery on my knee that I had. Every fighter goes through little roller coasters and they need a little time to get back and to see what they really want and what the mission is. And for me, I think it's important for fighters to have a little layoffs just so they could reminisce and that they could think what they really want in life, And for me, I want to become a champion again. I want to make history again. I want those titles that I gave away. And for me to do that, I have to beat Luis Ortiz. That's exactly why we got this hard opponent, because we got to get back to the ladders. We're back in the ladders, climbing on top, but we got to beat Ortiz on September 4th.
How hard was it for you on Saturday to watch Usyk and Anthony Joshua?
You know what? I called the fight. I felt Usyk was going to win. He's a man of Christ. He did his thing, man. He did what he was supposed to do, and he boxed them around. He threw good combinations, but I don't know what happened with Anthony Joshua. I felt like he needed that aggressiveness. I don't know what happened.
So you weren't surprised by the result whatsoever?
No, because even in the training, even in the media workout, I felt his foot was a little off. We've been training for 4 months already for the lefty style, so we have to adapt to those type of styles, and especially if they move around or if they be aggressive, we got to counter punch, we got to be aggressive, and I felt Anthony Joshua didn't do those things.
I remember being at Madison Square Garden when you won the fight, and some people will say, well, the dog got taken out of him when he fought Vladimir Klitschko. But if we really look at it, it was the fight with you to where he took you down. No one expected you to get up, and no one expected you to finish him, and you went and finished him. And since then, we've seen a different Anthony Joshua. Do you feel like you're the one that took the dog out of him and made him what he was before that point?
Man, it's crazy because I did have a lot of messages, a lot of text messages of people telling me man, it was your fault. That's why Anthony Joshua is not that aggressive. He's thinking too much. He's being too cautious. And I'm like, man, us fighters, we shouldn't care. We should go out there with the bang. It's scary. I feel that's what fighters fear, of them getting dropped or getting hurt or getting knocked out. But this is boxing, man. You're going to get hit. You're going to get hurt. But the main thing, you got to have those cojones to get back up and to win the fight. Look at when Chris Arreola hurt me a few times. I still had to have that same momentum to win the fight. And when he dropped me on on my knees when I buckled. I still had to get back up and I still had to be aggressive. And, it's like we can't really show that we're hurt or that we're like, oh, scared. We got to keep going forward. And, we're fighters. We got to be dogs in there.
Why Luis Ortiz? Because you went from Chris Arreola and now you're facing Luis Ortiz. What was it about Luis Ortiz that really excited you and wanted this to be your comeback fight?
Nobody wants to fight him. Nobody wants to fight him just because of his style. He's a hard-hitting guy. I thought that's going to put me back on the top after I beat him on September 4th. Like I said, we got to climb back up to the ladders, and I think he's one of the top 10 best heavyweights out there. And I think it's a really good matchup between me and him. Either way is going to be a tough fight because of his style, So yeah, we're taking risks. Yeah. But I feel like I have the ability to win. So that's exactly why we picked this fight.
Why do you think he's always avoided? Because these are the only guys that want to face him of top caliber are you and Deontay Wilder. Why is there such a reluctance for other heavyweights to face Luis Ortiz?
I don't think a lot of heavyweights like to fight lefties and hard-hitting lefties as well, because he could be tricky at times with different styles. But I think coming from my style, I think it's gonna be hard for him to be the same Luis Ortiz, because we're gonna bring something that he hasn't seen yet inside that ring.
You switched trainers. You left Eddie Reynoso. Now, who are you training with right now? Because I'm drawing a brain cramp. Where did you go from after Eddie Reynoso?
I ended up building my own gym. I got my own facility, and we got Alfredo Osuna, we got Monir, we got Mendoza, we got Jorge Capatillo. We got a great team that we have right here, especially for this fight. And I think it was the best decision that I could have made.
Why is that?
Just because of the time as well, and of the styles that Alfredo Osuna is related of, somebody that does mitts and switches to lefty, and it's just perfect. We've been having a good training camp, especially the mitts and all the hard work that we've been putting in. So I feel the time and the effort that we've been putting in here is just perfect.
I do have to ask, because we talked about Eddie a little bit. I know you were close with Canelo Alvarez. What do you make of him and Triple G? Who do you think wins that fight?
I think Canelo wins that fight again. He's a great counter puncher. I think he already beat him 2 times. So I don't think there's anyone out here right now that's gonna beat Canelo.
When you look at September, because September is a big month for Latinos. It's Hispanic Heritage Month. And what does September mean to you?
It means a war season, because there's so many great fights that's been in September. So there's gonna be Andy Ruiz fight, there's gonna be Canelo's fight. So there's gonna be a hell of a war in September. Especially I'm trying to get that September gift, since it's gonna be my birthday on 9/11. So that's why we're working hard to get that present for the knockout.
And a couple more questions, Andy. Thank you so much for the time today. As always, it's greatly appreciated. And you announced your fight, and the other big heavyweight fights coming up, and the one that got announced beginning of last week, Deontay Wilder is returning to the ring against Robert Helenius. And everyone's talking about you and Deontay Wilder before you can even face Luis Ortiz, and before he faces Robert Helenius. Do you even worry about any of that stuff, or you just kind of, let's not talk about that. Let's kind of move this way and let's get through these respective guys. And then if we win, we win. And then we can talk about that fight later on.
That's exactly how I think, man. I let everyone else talk their conspiracies and whatever. I'm just focused on Luis Ortiz, because there's no one to look past, because he's a tough guy. So first I got to beat him, and then we could talk about the next opponent. And that's the way it should be, instead of looking ahead of your opponent.
And we'll end with this. What can fans expect Sunday, September 4th, Fox Sports pay-per-view, as you make your return against Luis Ortiz?
Everybody should expect fireworks. 4th of July is gonna be September 4th. Me, Luis Ortiz, we're gonna try to knock each other's heads off, and we're just both trying to get to the same dream, become champions, and it's gonna be a hell of a fight. September 4th on Sunday on pay-per-view.
And don't forget.
Crypto.
Don't. Oh, you got me on that. I almost said Staples Center. Don't forget Sunday, September 4th, Crypto.com Arena out in Los Angeles, California. Catch it on Fox Sports pay-per-view. Andy Ruiz returns against Luis Ortiz. Andy, it's been a while, my friend. Thank you for chatting. Best of luck on September 4th. And hopefully we're talking about a big fight again coming up end of this year or the beginning of 2023.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.